new against rebuild.
I'm a contractor, so I'm in the contracting business.
Right.
So yeah, I will obtain qualified bids and the scenarios and present to the board before we spend any money. I would say again that I don't think anything was done improper.
Oh, I don't think it was improper.
I think it was very unfortunate.
I've watched my next door neighbors put $2,500 over a 4-year period into a $800, $900 pump.
Exactly.
Going by that bell. Anyhow, okay. Well, that's all I wanted. I don't want to belabor or anything. Thank you.
Excuse me. Yes, I'd like to say that Dan just hit the nail on the head with that pump, because the big one, the big fountain that we're talking about, Dan doesn't seem to know about yet, in our backyard, so to speak, is the one that when we were watching it being repaired at the time, which it does need again now, they told us that they could also do the front pump, which is in Campbell's area, for a lot less money if they did them both at the same time, because, as you say, these are floating pumps, and they had to drag in the boats each time, and the heavy-duty equipment, which is costly. That's why it costs so much money when it costs near as much money to have both at the same time. But at that time, Todd said no thanks. So,
Let me just finish this.
Right.
I gave you the total of what we spent so far. All these invoices were paid from the homeowners fund, our regular checking account. It should be noted that past invoices were also found in the association records for pump replacement in the $3,000 range. So the cost was not that terribly much out of line. The problem was that everything failed at once, and it had to be covered.
I know you don't know it, but I'm going to ask you a question anyway because we want to find it out. When was the previous repairs made? When were the previous repairs made? Do you know?
no.
We'll find out, because that'll allude to exactly what he was talking about, rather than
I would guess
rebuild
10
the
years
dead
ago.
horses.
It might have been 10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years, then they should have just replaced them.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right.
Yeah, that's not pitching a rock at anybody. That's just for future.
Yeah. Let me continue now. For this reason, the board has established a separate pump reserve account for major repairs only. There's currently $500 in that account, and we're going to be adding to it as we go along, and we want to build it up to $10,000 to cover any future major pump repairs. Minor repairs will be paid from the general checking account. We also established a wall reserve account. In years past, this has been listed in the budget as a reserve account. It didn't really exist. This was just money that would be taken out of a CD if we had to cash it in to pay for any wall repairs. So now we have $2,500 in a checking account just for this purpose, for the wall. Okay, that takes care of the major repairs. Anybody have anything else? Okay. Legal action. May 30th, 2010, a check was issued to Crotty and Bartlett for legal fees related to Porcelli roof matter in the amount of $1,321.29. On August 20th, 2010, a check was issued to Crotty and Bartlett for filing a declaratory judgment regarding the Porcelli roof matter for $3,000. We've spent a total of $4,321.29 for legal fees. This matter was going to be addressed by Larry Bartlett, the attorney handling this case, at the annual meeting originally scheduled for January 11, 2011. But we did not have a quorum for that meeting, and he couldn't be here today, but that's where it kind of stands at the moment. Yes, sir.
When this case was filed, is this a winnable case?
We think so.
As the attorney was.
Yes.
At this point, Mr. Porcelli has retained an attorney and then requested another 30-day extension. That was granted, and so it's in the hands of the lawyers now, and we will be updated within the 30 days as to what's decided.
There were two parts to this, where Mr. Porcelli was suing the board. That has been dismissed. Now, with the part now, where he's now hired his lawyer, the 30 days is to give his new attorney a chance to catch up on what's going on and proceed from that point.
Does Corton Bartlett figure once they get this thing done to roll it around and sue for court costs and?
That is being decided.
Is it? Okay.
All right, and then I have a list here of people who have not yet paid their dues. James and Norma Barkley, Rocco Pacherno, Richard Krantz, Camille Salami, Susan Brevard, Mark Chastain, and Mark Hack.
I got a check.
And you've got the checkbook, okay.
And then there's a partial.
Yeah, there's a partial pay. Tony Pacelli has paid $80. He still owes $239. Richard Kranz, right now, he owes $843.80.
You ain't never gonna get it
I
out.
know, but I just wanted to put it
But
in
you're
on
gonna
the
take
black
the
and
house
white.
into foreclosure, now this is secondhand hearsay, sometime between now and April.
Okay. Well, Paterno is also, that's also in foreclosure.
And I talked with Mr. Pacherno, and according to him, it's the bank's fault. They're not doing anything, so it's just kind of a,
And according to the real estate agent, it's Paterno's fault, so. He's not coming up with the papers that he needed to have. He had the house sold, but he didn't come up with the papers, so that the deal would be
whatever.
consummated.
That's, I mean, that is, we're not really in, privy to all the stuff that goes on with foreclosure.
So I just happen to have a person that I'm friends with, that they're friends with friends, and anyhow, and
I did speak
supposedly going into foreclosure.
I did speak with Mr. Kranz when I was making my phone calls, and he said he could take care of it in 2 weeks. Well, today's like 2 weeks.
What?
Excuse me, I got a question on the people who don't pay their maintenance fees. Does it say in the CNR that liens will be brought against them? So what are you
We
going to do
can
with all that?
find
Pardon?
1% a month, 12% a year.
That's the
Yeah,
next
but see,
step.
somebody like France, you can get a judgment. I got a judgment against the friggin' state of California. I got money out of that. I got a judgment against my $1 million neighbor,
Yeah.
and I wasn't gonna live long enough
No,
to get
we have
that.
some new names on here I haven't seen before, such as our neighbors, for one thing. I mean, one neighbor we knew about, but anyway, the other neighbor now is on here, and that's a new one. So surely you're gonna set liens
Yes,
against these places.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
They will be notified by letter,
Okay.
certified letter, and there will be a 1%. It's a 12%, but it's 1% a month when they're late. That will be added on.
That's the idea, to follow the rules you have set,
It's-
that's good.
But the people ignore it, they're not,
Well, if they ignore it, they only want to do it 2 times, I think, and then you say it's illegal service, something like that, so it's CNR.
what is it, $500
And that is the next step, file a lien on their property.
Yeah.
So we'll try this, the letter, and, I mean, there's still, people, are still responding to the phone call. It's just-
If we're filing liens, hopefully when we file those liens, we file to recover the cost of the filing also.
Right, yes, that's what Mr. Krantz has said. Okay. Are there any other questions on the budget?
Any other questions? That concludes my report.
Okay.
Move for the acceptance of the report.
Excuse me?
Move for the acceptance of the report.
Second.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I have a question. I was out for a few minutes. I understand there was a question about my dues. Is that correct?
That's correct. It was brought up that you made a partial payment.
Yeah, it's right in our documents that you can make equal quarterly payments.
Is that what your intention is?
Yes,
I wrote you a letter, you never responded.
I had already emailed Mary that intention and quoted
You
the
emailed
covenants.
Mary?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been here. My
okay.
computer's down.
It's right in our covenants.
But I haven't been here. My computer's down.